Great. Well, first of all, a very, 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 very good evening to one and all present here. I am CA Ishita Raichura. I have been training for soft skills, and I've been into the field of teaching for 7 good years now. So you can trust me a little bit when it comes to my training. Okay. Now, first things first. Have you ever asked yourself that how important it is to be having communication skills, that you want to have communication skills on a scale of 1 to 10? Just ask yourself that how important this is. Is it not important? You always think that I am going to be an accountant or I am an HR. I don't think I need to have so much of communication skill. I'm just going to sit and pass the entries, or I'm going to get into audit, or I'll have something to do with taxation. I don't think I need to have any kind of communication skills or interpersonal skills or presentation skills. This is a normal notion we all have because we think we are in a remote area operating and working with files in our hand, and there is no obvious need to have communication, right? This is what we all think. Well, I want to take this opportunity today to prove that that kind of notion will take you nowhere. We are here together, we'll join hands today together to learn and to master, at least not master, at least learn this art of interpersonal skills and presentation skills, which you need to have as an accountant or an HR. Okay. I hope I'm audible to you guys. Okay. First of all, have you ever asked yourself that what is this interpersonal skill? What is this interpersonal skill? Let's just go through a few, okay? This is something you do in your daily life, but you don't know that it holds so much of importance when it comes to you presenting your ideas for decision making. Now, this decision making skills can be even the smallest decision making skills, okay? For example, you're recharging your phone. Acha, which pack am I going to choose? Decision making skills. I wake up in the morning, what time I want to wake up? Decision making skill. You go to your work, you know there is so much of work you need to complete, A, B, C, D. Which one am I going to complete first? Decision making, right? I'm extremely sorry for the noise outside. It's going to go off in 5 minutes maybe. So then is the relationship management. Is it enough for you to sit inside on your chair nicely and sit and do your accounts and not interact with anybody? No, doesn't work that way. When you are working, even if you're working in a mid-sized firm, even if you're working in a small firm, even if you're working in a corporate firm for that matter, you need to have communication skill. You need to know the relationship management, because your client or your boss or your team members, you have to survive with them at the end of the day. So you have to master this art of relationship management as well. Ma'am, Pavitra ma'am, can you please switch off your audio? Thank you. Okay, I have muted you. Okay. Okay. Next is the emotional intelligence. We have heard of IQs, but have we heard of this thing called emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is nothing but understanding the other person's emotion. How can you step into that other person's shoes to know what that other person is thinking? Generally, you try to do it with your siblings, right? Because obviously you're emotionally attached to them, so you will do it for them. But it is very, 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 very important even in your professional area. Problem solving skills, questioning skills, the self-awareness. Today, we are also going to learn that everybody who's going to sit here today is going to know that what kind of communicator you are. You yourself are going to categorize yourself into a style of communicator, which we'll obviously get into a little bit later. You'll learn a lot today about so many aspects which you yourself didn't know that it existed when it comes to communication. Now, firstly, let's touch what exactly is this interpersonal skills. Any kind of skill set which you have that gives you the ability to interact with another person is nothing but your interpersonal skills. Now, that could be your best friend, right? What do? The first thing is you will open your WhatsApp, you will take a screenshot, you want to send it to your best friend, right? That is your way of talking to your friend. But when you come to your professional work, can you do these kind of things? No. So you have to adapt to your interpersonal skills, and you need to know that where should I use what. Okay, you cannot be friends. You can have colleagues, you can have a lot of people to connect with at your workplace, but having a best friend, having a friend at workplace might be risky. Tomorrow things might not go right with them. They will not be happy about you. You would have given those information to them which you shouldn't have given, and that will come back to you in a very shocking way. So interpersonal skills refers to the set of abilities enabling a person to interact positively and work effectively with others. In other words, it is the way we relate to people, the way we communicate and interact with people, both in individual and groups. Now, there are two kinds of people. There are people who can interact so beautifully when it comes to individual talking. Okay, they are amazing. They are going to speak their heart out. They have no what do you say, they have nothing at all. They're not even scared. They will just talk very beautifully to you. But the minute they are put on stage, that go, you need to talk, you have to talk, go present yourself, what are you going to do? You might shiver, you might feel that, okay, I'm going to go blank at any point of time. So talking in a group becomes a challenge, not just because you're scared of your things around you, you're also afraid of that judgment which people are going to pass on, right? So this is nothing but the interpersonal skills which we need to learn. First of all, to learn something, you should know where you belong. Only then the learning happens. If you already think in your head that you are awesome, you are an amazing person, and there is nobody as good as you, then God only will help you. Okay. But if you evaluate yourself, if you ask yourself, okay, this is where I stand and this is where I need to get, for which you need to know what those skill sets are. Now, when you go to your job, when you go to your interview, what do you really think? The person who's selecting you is going to select you only on the basis of your accounting knowledge, technicality, and what is there in your resume? You think only that is going to be there? Well, no. The interviewer is not going to select you just because there is another candidate who would have done that same course, who would be a BCom, who would be an MBA, who would be an MCom. Then what makes you different from that other person? It is nothing but your interpersonal skills, which you have to understand. And these days, just being present is not enough. You have to mark your presence there. So how to mark my presence? I can mark my presence by having these interpersonal skills within me, and if not, at least try and improve to bring them. Now, there are some people who can fluently talk to others. And what do you say to them? Arey, she was born like that. He was born like that. He's born to talk. It just comes naturally to him. I don't have it in me. We very conveniently make this statement, right, to our friends. Yeah, she can. But do you realize you are also that good when it comes to talking to your friend? You're also that effective when you're that efficient when you're communicating to a close one, dear one of you. So openly you talk to your mother, right, without even fear of getting judged. So if they have it in them, you also have it in you. So it is nothing that a person is born with. Okay, it is that you develop. Now, what happens is, what communication you have with your close ones, you just have to deviate a little bit and try to interact with those people who can put you in an uncomfortable zone. And how you put yourself in that discomfort and then get out of it, you will be a completely different personality. And for which you first have to remove this notion from your head that a person is born with a certain skill set when it comes to communication. No, they are not born with it. If they are born with it, it doesn't mean if they are born with it, even you are born with it. Okay. So saying this thing in your head all the time that somebody is good at it and I am not, maybe because they have it in them, they are born with that and I am not, no, doesn't work. Example is right in front of you. I was an introvert I think I was an introvert till for 10 years. In my school, I was an introvert. I never spoke to anybody. I never wanted to speak to anybody because I thought, okay, I don't want to, because there are so many people speaking already. There is no need for me to speak. And later I realized that, okay, I am intelligent. Maybe I'm good at my work. I'm having a lot of qualities in me. But what is the point of those qualities when you can't go out there and present yourself in the right way? Your resume will talk to your talk. It will talk about your personality, no doubt about it, but it will talk about your personality to just some extent. Every time an interviewer will not just see your resume, he'll keep the resume aside, he or she will look at you. And they're going to ask you this question that tell me something about yourself. Tell me something that is not there in the resume. What are you going to say? How are you going to say it? How are you going to make that mark that they remember? Oh, this was fun. That talking to this person was good. Okay. Now, employer often seeks to hire a staff with strong interpersonal skills. They want people who will work well in a team and be able to communicate effectively with colleagues, customers, and clients. Now, this we will see in 2-3 different ways. The first thing, imagine you're working in a small scale firm. Ma'am, then how is this interpersonal skills going to help us? We are working in a small scale firm. You might have a small scale firm. I agree. You might be taking up accounting role there. Agreed? Yes. Now a person will come to you walking, giving you a file. What if you don't know how to talk? What if you don't know what to talk because you're scared, you're afraid that I don't know the language, maybe I don't know how I'm going to ask, maybe I don't have a subject clarity, etc. Then why would somebody hire you? You have knowledge, you know, amazing, you will pass double entry in a fraction of second, trial balance ready, P&L is ready, your balance sheet is ready, your reports are ready, you're taking the printouts, excellent in that job. But when it comes to talking to client, zero. Trying to customer or talk to customers, zero. Colleagues, no, I don't want to talk to them, I don't want to, I am just coming here doing my job and going. Then it will take you far in life, but it will not take you where you need to be. Okay, it will not take you where you need to be in your life. Okay, the next one. Now, the ability that the interpersonal skill encompasses are broadly defined as follows. The first one is active listening. Right now, you are just hearing. You're not listening, because right now, while I'm even talking to you, you are judging. Somewhere you think, who is she? Why will she? Who is she? What is she talking? Who does she think she is? Why would they call her? What so many skills she has in her? So right now you're still in the judgment zone. You're in the hearing zone. People in the group are somewhere laughing with each other, commenting, having good time with their body language, you know, winking at your friend. Hey, she's just somebody. Yeah, we'll chit chat. So it is a very sad interpersonal skill. If somebody is talking, you have to have this approach of active listening. Doing artwork, this yellow color, beautiful modern art line which you've drawn on the PPT, thinking that you'll get recognized for Oscars. Not a very good interpersonal skill. Second thing you need to have is a rapport building. Now, how to build this rapport? You will have this one person in that organization which you don't want to look at their face. You don't want to see them. You don't want to talk to them. You are not even interested to build a connection with them, but you have to face them every single day because that file goes to that person. And if you want to take that file, you have to see that person's face and go and talk. So can you be like a prince or a princess in your own world saying that I don't want to talk because I don't like that person? You can't do that. In a professional world, you need to know that you should learn to build that rapport, for which also you need to understand that other person's body language. Now, sitting here, okay, that your videos are on, I can see how many people are actually interested in the conversation and how many are not. Just by your body language. A person who's sitting like this, waiting for the session to get over, right? There is another person like this, holding crossing their hands nicely. I am not going to take any opinion that comes out of her because she's just going to talk. I need my attendance, right? There is another person who will be like, I'm feeling so sleepy, and why has sir kept this session? So they are holding their face like this and they're looking at the session. Body language talks anything and everything about your personality, even when you are on a video call, even when you are physically present in front of that person. And that is why understanding body language is a beautiful skill you need to have when it comes to your interpersonal skills, and you need to develop that. You need to know how to develop it, which we'll be coming back to. Then Giving and receiving the feedback, very important. Whenever you are in a workplace, if somebody has done some work, it is okay to give a good feedback, saying, good job, you did a good job, we're very happy about it. Small relationships, small relationships will take you really forward in your life. So giving and receiving feedbacks also will help. Somebody has kept their voice on, please switch it off. I request you to switch it off. Okay, then the next one is assertive communication style. Now this one will take a quite good time for a discussion, because you yourself would not know that you have that skill, and you have to put yourself in that shoe. Okay, I'll be telling you what kind of communicator each one of you who's talking right now. Okay, one second, I need to put you, ma'am. Anita, ma'am. Okay, you're muted. Thank you. So there is something called assertive communication style. We will come back to it a little later, okay, throughout the session. Now, let's start learning one simple thing, that is active listening. There are two things I told, hearing and there is listening, right? Listening is one of the most important skills one can have. How well one listens has a major impact on the job effectiveness and the quality of their relationship with others. Research suggests that we remember 25% and 50% के बीच में, 25 से लेके 50, only from 25 to 50 what you hear. So you have to understand that you will only remember 25% to 50%. So even in this session, right now, in this session, what is happening, let me tell you, you're still going to remember only 25 to 50% of what I'm telling you. Now that depends if you're listening or hearing. If you're hearing, 20% is what you will hear. If you're listening, 50%. Okay, it's for you to decide. So active listening is not just about hearing what the other person is saying, but about making a conscious effort to understand the complete message being communicated. There are these people in your life, generally you will see in your workplace, or you're studying as a student. Before you even start telling that, yeah, I think I know, I understood, yeah, got it. There's this one person who says, and you get so angry, you don't want to talk to that person. Arey, let me speak. You would be angry, like, let me speak a little bit. No, I know where you're getting it. I understood. Now, these kind of people lack a lot in life when it comes to, because they don't have the skill of active listening. So you have to constantly develop this skill, which you need to have, which is called active listening. So when somebody is talking, it is just basic respect, you can say, maybe, yeah, that comes under values. Let's not touch it. You will lose out a lot if you're not listening, is what I'm trying to say, because opportunities are in and around you everywhere. All you need to do is just take this step and open your ears and listen to that, and then you can act on that. But if you are overconfident, you don't want the other person to speak, thinking that you know already what that other person is speaking, or you're underconfident and you're disinterested, then both the ways you are only going to lose a lot. You yourself are going to lose a lot. So having this active listening is an art which you need to master. When it comes to interpersonal skills, you might be thinking, how is this going to help in the personal area? How is it going to help in professional area, HR? If you're in HR and you're asking questions to a person in the interview, you yourself don't understand, you're not listening to what they're saying. How are you going to judge and tell your, okay, you belong here, we selected you? How are you going to select that candidate if you don't have this quality of active listening? So you need to have, when somebody's talking, at least you have to listen to what they're saying, because you might get an information from them which you would have otherwise not got if you wouldn't have heard. And this is a key to being a successful person as well. Now, there are techniques to enhance your listening skills. The first one is silence. The toughest job for Indians, to keep silent. Okay, very difficult. So try, maybe you can just go back home when somebody is talking. There might be one friend of yours who tells you that you don't listen to me. Okay, take up this exercise, go back home and just call that friend of yours in silence. Okay, today you talk, I will listen, especially girls. Okay, we have this amazing quality of not listening. I'm not going to, it's just a joke. Just take it in good humor. Clarify. You have to try to clarify. Now, sometimes what happens when your client is saying something, you are understanding something else. In your professional language, accounting means debit credit entry. In their language, accounting means auditing. Now, how will you know what they are trying to tell and what you are understanding? There's always going to be difference. So they will come and tell you something, but because you did not clarify it right, you'll end up giving them a wrong service. If there is, if an in HR will come and tell, okay, how good are you? What are you good at? I am good at making content. Is what your interviewee says. I am good at making content. Okay, fine. Okay, the next question. Later somebody asks you, how was the interview? Yeah, she just said that she's good at making content. Acha, what kind of content? Oh, that I didn't ask. Hari, it is very important to know, right? You did not clarify, you didn't take that step ahead and clarify that, oh, this is very important, let me ask. What kind of content do you make? Business content, advertising, marketing? Are you into influencer, Instagram, etc., right? What kind of content are you actually doing? Because that can help your company in 10 different ways. Either ways, you're going to pay that employee, right? So why not clarify? In the field of accounting also, clarification is super important, because you will tell the person, get your FD receipts. Get your FD receipts. That person will come and give you a bank statement telling either FD, if there is a FD in this, please see. Here. But you are asking for a certificate and they are coming and giving you a statement, because what you said and what they understood different. You did not choose to clarify. The third thing is questioning. So when you're listening also, while you're listening, let the person complete. Then ask questions. Now, questions can be two types. One is open-ended and one is close-ended. Now, in an online session, I will always choose a close-ended conversation. What is this close-ended conversation? A question that is asked where you get only a yes or a no, or a not available, or all of the above, right? You get a yes or a no. So if I'm asking, is everybody able to listen to me? Your answer is going to be yes. But if I'm asking you, how was your day? Did you enjoy this session? And what did you learn out of it? This becomes an open-ended question. A person can answer anything and everything. So you have to choose your conversation wisely. If you want to stop an interaction, for example, you're in HR and you want to stop an interaction with this person because there are other interviewee coming in, then you need to choose close-ended questions at that point of time. Okay, I got it now. Are you happy with the package? That person will say yes or no. But if you tell, what kind of package do you want? The person will have an open-ended answers by saying, oh, I want basic salary, for whose it should be so much, my EPF account, or what about the TDS? 100 questions. So you have to choose whether you want to have a long interaction. If you want a long interaction, choose an open-ended conversation. You want to have a short and sweet because you don't have time, you have a lot of other things in your plate. Close-ended conversation, questioning. Okay. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is nothing but repeating what the other person has said in a shorter and a sweeter way. It's called paraphrasing. Summarizing is from A to Z. You tell that person, yeah, it was great meeting you. I got these highlights from you. I have understood what you want from me. And then you even paraphrase in the summary. And then finally you say, okay, I will get back to you on the same. Now, this could be your client. This could be your boss. This could be interviewee, anybody for that matter. And finally, the feedback. It's very important to have a feedback. Whenever you complete any kind of conversation, especially in a professional world, it is very important that you give feedback. Feedback could be, thank you for spending time. Thank you for your time. I'm really glad that you found some time out of this schedule to, help me out of this. It's called feedback, by saying that, oh, I appreciate the kind of conversation I had and I'm looking forward for more conversation. See, these small things can take you so many places in life. You will not even know that one thank you note of yours can get you a job and which can pay you in even lakhs, because your interpersonal skills are so strong. The next one is rapport building. What is this rapport building? It's nothing but building the rapport, which helps us in building and connect with others. Now, how to develop this rapport? You don't like to talk to a person, but you have to develop a rapport. Now, you might think that rapport building, there are a few people again who think that, oh, she is so extrovert, she can go and talk to anybody. He is such an extrovert person, he can go and talk to anybody and everybody, right? That is the kind of thing you have. But let me tell you, again, it's a myth. They don't have it in them. And even if they have it in them, it has nothing to do with you. You can still go build your rapport. You can still go and talk to people. You can still start. It's not too late. Even today, if you don't know how to build rapport, I will teach you a few techniques to build a rapport. For example, I want to talk to this other person. How will I talk? I want to strike a conversation. There's a very big personality. I want to approach that person. I know that there is no way that person is going to approach me. How am I going to start a conversation? Notice that person. When you're noticing, I'm not asking you to stare, okay? Just notice. Don't do staring business and all. So notice. There might be a book. You'll find a book, kind of book, a phone, a water bottle, maybe a laptop, anything around that is common, which you have an idea about, right? Something will be there in common which you have an idea about. Look at that. For example, you find a person, that person is very, very famous person. You want to go and talk, but that person is busy reading book. And you know something about that book. You can always strike a conversation saying that, oh, you're reading this book and it happens to be an excellent book. I'm so glad to see somebody is reading this book. A person who's really, really, really into books will talk back to you. You start building rapport, be it with your manager. Find what your common interest is. Whenever you want to build a rapport with someone, please understand that you have to find what is your common interest with that person, and then you will immediately start building rapport. Once you build that rapport, the communication will strike in, and it will go to a level where you can actually take help of that person anytime and every time you want. So building rapport, very, very important. Strategies to build rapport: see, finding common ground, focus on the appearance, very important. Now, you need to understand that you have to focus on your appearance. Sadly, the world judges you on the basis of what clothes you wear, how you dress, how you stand, and that is a mere fact. Let's face it. That's how people judge you. If you're, when I'm telling you dressed and beautiful, I'm not asking you to wear a Prada and wear a Gucci and look amazing, go to a parlor, get full turn makeup. No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you neat, look neat or presentable. So you have to understand that you have to focus on your appearance, especially when it comes to the corporate world as well. Be it an HR, be it an accounting job, you need to look good. You need to look good. When I'm saying, I'm not, hair is somewhere here, one hair is flying on the other side, the guys have not shaved till here, you have left your beard, etc. So basically focus on your appearance. Just make sure you look neat, because the other person talking to you will not want to talk to you just because you're not neat. Maybe that doesn't make them feel okay. This person, they'll start judging you, and it is a fact. Once they get to know you, it's a different thing, for which they should start a conversation. To start that conversation, at least you should focus on your appearance, because it plays a huge role. I'm not asking you to become like a doll and go, okay? You don't have to be a Barbie doll. You don't have to be a handsome man, Mr. World. No, you just be who you are, but look neat. You look yourself, okay? Be empathetic. Very important. When you're building a rapport with somebody and the other person is saying something to you, you cannot be insensitive. Oh, that my aunt, that uncle this person died actually. Oh, okay. The other person is talking to you. They are trying to build a rapport. You just have to say, oh my God, rest in peace. I had no idea about it. Are you doing fine? This is all it takes to build a rapport. Use mirroring. Now I'll tell you how to use this mirroring. Very, very important. Okay. This art nobody teaches. So, for example, I'm talking to you. Now, this mirroring can be done inside. You can keep practicing this mirroring, because mirroring is an art. Now, for example, I am talking to you. Okay. While I am talking to you, I am starting to develop interest in the conversation. Very professional conversation and not personal and all. So, professional conversation is happening. You will see a person is with authority. When you see somebody with authority, they'll be laying like this. They'll be on their chair in their own way. And you want to build a rapport with them. What is the first thing? You'll find a common ground. You'll start talking something about something common. You'll strike a conversation at least, which is common, which you know. You can go on LinkedIn and find out. You can go on Facebook and find out. If you really want to build a rapport with that person, you can always do that. Go to LinkedIn, see where they've studied. What if your friend has studied in that college, and you can always go, oh, you studied in the very same college my friend did. I heard it's an excellent college. The conversation will start off from there. Your appearance should be good. You have to be empathetic. Okay, use mirroring. Very right. The person starts building rapport with you. You will see their body language. They are sitting like this, relaxed. They'll slowly start coming straight. Okay, they'll start engaging in a conversation. This happens in a physical conversation. Online, you'll still be like this. It's all right. So it happens in a physical conversation. So the person comes front and they are listening to you. This body language you'll get to hear. So the minute you know this, when they are coming front, they're coming inclined like that, that means they are involving themselves in the conversation. They are liking your conversation. If they're showing this kind of language like this, not looking at the phone, that person is not interested. There is no point trying to build a rapport because you're just wasting your time. But there will be something called mirroring, which helps you a lot. So if that person is coming in the front and keeping their hands on their, the left hand on their left cheeks, and then listening to you, you can't sit like this. You also slowly start coming in the front. Keep your left arm and keep it that way and listen. That what happens. You don't understand. It turns out as a magic. It's a magical tool. If the other person is sitting in the right, you're sitting even the opposite. You also turn. It's like a mirror. If they are turning to their left, you will turn to their. Okay. It should be like a mirror. If they're going left, you also put your body posture a tad bit of left. If they are falling back, okay, you don't fall back and jump on the chair. I'm not asking you to do that. They are in the level of authority and you don't want to mess with them. So you relax yourself. When they are relaxed, you are relaxed. When they are alert, you become a little bit alert. If they stand, it is just decent for you to at least offer a chair. Okay, you also slowly stand and say, okay, I don't want to take much of your time. Mirroring is a kind of non-verbal communication which can take you places in life. And this kind of thing, you have to have it in you. And it slowly start developing when you start seeing, oh, my boss is talking to me like this. Are you going to sit like this and yawn in front of your boss? No, at least you won't do that, right? But mirroring is an art where you start talking, you indulge them in the conversation and make sure your body language matches with theirs. That is nothing but mirroring. So please understand that this will play such an important role. It's a magical tool. I'm telling you, it is a magical tool. Try and then test and then remember me, okay? Don't forget about the basic things. Courtesy. Good morning, good afternoon. The person might not look at you one day, will not look at you second day, third day, they are going to smile. And if you are in a position that you need to have that rapport with that person at any cost, it's okay. Try talking to them. First day, they will not look at you. Second day, third day, they are definitely going to smile and talk to you. But don't create a fool out of yourself also, okay? You need to know where to talk and where you don't have to talk. That you have to trust your instincts. Now, basics. Small basics you have to remember. Shake your hand firmly. When you are building a rapport, you're going to say hello. Now, when you're introducing yourself also, you cannot tell, my name is Ishita Raichura. No, you cannot start with my name is. A professional conversation starts with, hi, I am. I am is the word you substitute. So you use like, I am so and so. Okay. And you shake your hand. When I'm telling a firm handshake, you cannot, this is not firm handshake. Okay. This is a fish cut thingy. No, this is not a firm handshake. Taking someone's hand and twisting them tightly. No, we are not here for wrestling. Okay, loosely shaking your hand like where your hand is so loose. Sign of underconfidence. Firm handshake. When you meet somebody, there should be a firm handshake. Not too tight, not too loose. Looking people in the eye, very, very important in India. Other countries, it is different. In India, we look into people's eyes. And when you're looking, you don't just stare continuously and make them feel awkward, especially to all those men out there. And you're having a conversation with them and you're looking into eyes and you're smiling. Now you look wrong. And the same goes with even women. Okay, you can't do things like that. Looking is having a glimpse. Yes, I acknowledge the fact that I'm shaking hand with you and I acknowledge your presence. That is what looking people in the eye means. Smiling. Smiling doesn't mean showing 30, 60 teeth. I have so many teeth count. No, smiling is a decent smile which you hold, which reflects your personality. Not smiling too much, not showing a frown on face that not interested to talk with this person. I don't know what is this person doing here. Not that kind of things. You have to keep your basics strong. Being sincere, asking open-ended questions, facing the other person instead of looking at your computer screen or mobile device. Every time I'm talking to you, if you're seeing your computer screen, I can see from here who's seeing the computer screen and who is not. Okay. So try to remember your basics, right? Now, how to understand this body language? Non-verbal signs play a most important role when it comes to business communication. First one is the posture. If you're slouched, like right now, I can just point out so many. I don't want to point out and all. I'm just saying a few examples from your very same organization. Now, there will be people who are slouching. it shows underconfidence. There are people who are holding their hands like this. Now, there are two things, okay? Generally, the trainers will tell you that if somebody is holding their hand, it means they're in defensive mode. But sometimes it is not. Sometimes they are sitting on a chair and they feel that it is comfortable to keep their hands, or their hands will be loose the whole time. So it's not right to judge somebody every time just because a trainer comes and teaches you that this is a defensive position. It means they don't want to talk to you. That's why they're holding their hands. No, the definition of body language is dynamic. It keeps changing, and it is changing right now. So the traditional method where they used to keep it like this, always when you're judging somebody, you don't have to think that they're keeping their hands like this so they're defensive. No, they're not defensive. Maybe they're in a relaxed posture that keeps them relaxed at some point of time because their hands are hurting. Please give them a benefit of doubt. Eye contact. When you're having an eye contact with somebody, looking down, underconfidence. Looking straight into the eyes, you are asking for an aggressive communication when you're looking into somebody's eyes straight. So you have to have a very decent eye contact when they are talking, like mirroring. If they are looking into your eyes, you look. They're looking down, they're showing you a document and you're staring at them. How will you look? How will you look if you're staring at them continuously? I'm taught to teach eye contact. I will just keep seeing to that person. And your boss is explaining and looking at them. You are going to look wrong. Okay. Gestures with hands and arms. Very important. Speech. The tone of voice. If you're saying, is the file completed? Yes, sir, it is completed. Nobody is going to trust you. They will know that the file is not completed because your tone of voice is only so underconfident that they know that you have spoiled something in that file. When as an HR, very important to have that tone of voice, because if you are only underconfident about asking question to the other person, why will the other person be interested in talking to you? They will start judging you. Okay? An interviewer will start judging an interviewer if your tone of voice is not right. So some of the common worrying signs, okay, is you need to look for is given here. If somebody is lying, how to understand if somebody is lying? This is very interesting. So all people be interested to know how to know. See, when somebody is lying to you, let me tell you, they will have little or no eye contact with you. They'll have rapid movements in their eyes continuously. Here. They keep. They're like, okay, because they want to get out of that place. It is very easily made out. If you have, I said, did you enjoy the class? Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I got to know you're lying. Because you are rolling your eyes, you want to leave that place, you're tired, you're fed up, etc. That is a signature that a person is lying. They generally, the psychologists say that, somebody touching their nose, if you're talking something like, and you touch the nose, the person is lying. It's a natural phenomenon. Not every time it doesn't work, but majority of the time it works. Hands or fingers in front of mouth while speaking. See, when somebody is talking, yeah, done, sir. I have done the file. It will be given to you. That person is somewhere lying because they want to show, they are not confident enough to tell you truth. So they hide their face. Who hides? A person who's lying only will hide their face. A confident person is not going to hide. Okay. Body physically turned away or unusual, unnatural body posture. Suddenly they start sweating, their breathing rate will increase, there's a red face, you will see they're breathing heavily, their voice pitch changes. No, I didn't do that. You can also say, no, I didn't do that. But when that, no, I didn't do that, it means you're lying. You have done something. When somebody is catching hold of you, they're going to listen to your voice pitch and they will catch hold of you and they'll get to know that you are lying. See, I'm also teaching you the art to hide lies, okay? A person can see it in two ways. How to understand when somebody is lying and what not to do if you're lying. Defensiveness. A person who's very, very defensive, how to get to know that when you're talking, when you want to see a person, how to understand that this person can be defensive. Their gestures are small and close to the body. They're like this. They're like this. They're like this. They'll keep their hands to themselves. Minimal face expression. It means they're defensive. They will not smile. They'll be looking. They are very aggressive. So you'll understand if we'll always have that one person. Generally, you'll see the kind of character is generally in a family, it is either a dad or somebody who is, the eldest male of the family will have a defensive character, defensiveness. Just try asking them, I want to go party tonight, and you'll get that look, and that is more than enough. So you'll understand the body language there only. All this will match there. Body physically turned away, arms crossed in front of the body, this way continuously holding it tight. Downcast eyes or little eye contact. These kind of people are defensive. You have to understand that your way of approaching that person should be different. You cannot have that same approach which you have to people who are very acceptable. You have to change your approach when you're talking to people. Disinterest. To all those people out there who are looking down, tired, I don't know when she'll stop speaking. God knows why we are stuck here. Gazed eyes or gazing at something else. Oh, ma'am, no, ma'am, we are looking at you only. But in head, you are already in Kashmir or Singapore. Okay. Hands fiddling with clothes or something else, continuously having something, either playing XOX below the desk, or continuously having kerchief and playing with that, looking at each other, smiling. Okay, these people are disinterested in the conversation. It's very important, easily understandable. Sitting slumped in their chairs. Many of you sitting slumped in a chair, like it's so easy to understand. This person is not interested. What to do? Giving feedback and receiving feedback are two most important things when it comes to communication. It comes for interpersonal skills. You need to have it. How to give feedback is also an art. You cannot, if somebody is talking nonsense to you, you cannot tell that person that you are talking nonsense. There is a way to tell. Okay, there is a way to tell. Tell it in a nice way. Feedbacks need to be timed well. Imagine that person is going through a very rough patch in the life, and you make them, and they're already crying. They come to you crying, saying that I have so many problems right now. The boss is not listening to me. Manager is putting so much of pressure on me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And you go to that person like, hey, that file which you sent, no, bakwas, not at all good. See, you need to know that your feedback was not timed well. Yes, you have to give feedback that the person didn't do the right job, but wait for the right time to tell to that person. But also don't time it telling that, oh, I will tell after 2-3 years. It's okay. Right now he's sad or she's sad. No, not like that also. Okay. You have to focus on the collaborative solution rather than pinpointing the problems. Don't sit and tell you did this, you did that. No. Yes, I understand you went wrong. Maybe I could help you out with it, or we could sit together and we could try and fix it. See, that is the way you give feedback. You can't pinpoint to somebody and tell this is wrong, that's wrong, because you don't know that person will get promoted tomorrow. That person will have that much of authority in front of you. And later, if you're not good enough to that person will come and even it can cause a lot of trouble to you. So giving feedback is an art. Give it right. While giving feedback, I statement should be used more often. Please use the I statement. I feel that. You cannot say the whole organization thinks you're mad, you're rubbish. No, you can't say things like that. It should be I, because it is your feedback. Receiving feedback also is an art, for which you have to be an active listener. You have to make sure that you are not afraid of. If somebody tells you, you are not good at this. Now it is on you how well you take it. Okay. First things first. You have to understand what perspective they are telling you. Are they trying to really put you down, or are they there to help you? If a person is there to put you down, ignore. Such people are going to be there in corporate. Such people will be there in the accounting job. They are going, even interviewees are going to be like this. Place. Some people are like that. You can't do anything. Ignore. Some people are really there to help you, to make you better person. So giving the feedback, you should understand. If somebody is telling you you're not good at this, ask them, okay, tell me, how can I improve this? I will try my level best to improve this. You should not be afraid of asking questions. You have to try to learn from your feedback first, for which you have to accept your feedback. Some people come and tell you, you're not good at this. Maybe you should try. Hey, you keep quiet. You don't tell anything. You keep quiet, like First, maybe it is for your good. Maybe if you listen to that feedback, it will help you improve a lot. So you have to stay calm. You have to stay cordial. And it's okay to even thank that other person. If the most senior person comes to you and say that, you have this quality which you need to work on, take it as a sporting way. Okay, fine, maybe I have to work on this. Maybe this will take me far in life. And you never know, they would have seen that quality in you. But if you take it negatively, it's going to impact you negatively. But if you take that thing in a positive spirit, it is going to impact you in a very, very positive way. Right? Should we be heading for a 5 minutes breather? So if you're available. Okay. I don't hear a reply. Just 1 minute. Okay, till they reply, I'll just give you a brief about a communication style. Now, this is your job. Okay, this is not my job. My job gets over. Your job starts here right now. And if you don't listen to this, you're missing out something very, very huge in your life. I can only say so much. And I am not a master of this, creating this. It is a research that says this. Okay, so if you maybe you think I am not good at it, but you cannot deny the research what has been placed. So let us understand. You try to put yourself in which category you belong. Okay, we'll try to put. You yourself have to evaluate. I am nobody to say anything. You yourself have to evaluate yourself. So there are 4 styles of communication: aggressive, assertive, passive aggressive, and passive. Now it is your duty to put it in the right place. Who are you? You have to answer the question for yourself. Okay. Who's an aggressive person? Aggressive person has a way of communication. I'll tell you how they communicate and where. And you think if you have those qualities, then you have to rethink and you have to learn, okay, maybe I have to cut it down a little bit. So who's the best of all this? Is it an aggressive person? Is it an assertive person? Is it a passive aggressive person or a passive person? Let me tell you, the answer to this is an assertive person. A person that is having a person having assertive communication is a person who wins any and every conversation. If you are an assertive if you are into assertive communication, you can convince your client, you can convince your business, you can get anything and everything you want just by that style of communication. People will come back to you, people will look up to you, people will worship you literally if you have that. And it is an art to have that assertive communication. So you have to put yourself in which category you belong to. Okay, the first one is aggressive communication. Low consideration for others, but they are having high openness of communication. Generally, you can get to see this kind of quality in a boss. Not all bosses, few bosses. You know, you always say, I don't know why she's so bossy, right? You use this word. I don't know why he's so bossy. He thinks he's the king of this world. Why? Because in your head, you know that that other person talks so much and they don't even listen to what you say and they think low of you. Every time that person is communicating, they have low consideration for you and they talk anything and everything under the sky without even thinking that it can hurt that other person. So this is nothing but low consideration for others and high openness. So this is nothing but the aggressive. This part becomes the aggressive way of communication. Let's see what more do we have. Passive communication. Passive communication is something that a lot of people have, and this is like a poison. You might be those people who don't know to tell no come under passive communication. It means anybody and everybody can get the work done from you. If they can do that, then you're having passive communication. So let's understand, you put yourself in which category you belong. And from today, you promise yourself that, okay, I don't want to be passive. I don't want to be aggressive. I don't want to be passive aggressive also. I want to be assertive because that will take me far in life. And when I'm telling assertive, not just in your professional life, even in your personal life, it's going to take you really, really far. You will be able to handle relationships in a very beautiful way. So who is this passive communication? What is this passive communication? When individuals resort to using passive style of communication, they fail to assert for themselves. They speak softly and apologetically and fail to express their feeling, needs, and opinion freely. For example, somebody is giving a file to you. You will do it, no? I have full faith you're going to do it. Take this your file. You have it in you. You will do it. But you don't have time for it. They are not paying you for that. So you don't want to actually do it. But that other person comes to you and tells, no, you have the talent in you. You're going to do it. Oh my God, you're going to ace it. Keep this file. You have it in you. And before you even think of how to say no, the work is assigned to you and that person is gone. It means you are a passive communicator. You have to work to become assertive. You're speaking very, very softly. You fail to express your feelings. Only after they go, you sit and cry. I don't know why I got so much of job. I don't know why I've got so much of work. I don't belong here. I deserve something better. Then speak up. But speak in a nice way and tell, no, sir, I'm sorry. I'm so looking forward to doing this file. Having said that, I have this much of work to get done with, only after which I can commit to you for that, because if I don't complete this and I don't complete that, both the places I'm going to fail. So telling no, ladies and gentlemen, is an art which you have to learn to master if you want to stay in a corporate world. So they will speak, these passive communicators will speak softly. Are you one of those? Ask yourself. Are you one of those that you speak softly, apologetically, you fail to tell no, you have needs and opinions, you want a salary hike. Maybe you're earning around 50,000, shall say 50, but you think you deserve 80, but you're scared to say that you deserve 80,000. You feel like, no, if I ask, it might, I don't know what will they think. So let me keep quiet. I'll stay like this for the rest of my life. Then the world is going to make fun of you. The world will take you lightly and they are going to take you for granted. Okay. Okay. Now, they will allow others to infringe them on their rights and tend to adapt. I am okay. You're also okay. See, a person throwing this, dumping work on you, getting all this, you will have these kind of people in your life who will dump all the work on you and go. Generally, you do it to your mother in your personal life, right? You will be like, Mama, you will pack my tiffin, you will cook food for me, you're going to be there, you don't even allow her to say no to you. Because if they say no to you, you want to sit and cry the whole day, right? This can happen because there's a relationship of a mother, daughter, mother, son. Yeah, works there, but doesn't work in an environment, because in a work environment, they will take you for granted. People are going to take you for granted if you are a passive communicator, because you will always be like, I am not okay, you are okay. You're always having that yeah sir, I will do it, and you means that person you'll make sure he is okay, but you won't be okay from inside. It means that is the kind of life position you're dealing with, and you need to come out of it. So when we use passive style of communication, we exhibit poor eye contact and slumped body posture. You just slump yourself like this and you have a poor body posture. I will do it. Any kind of job you tell, I will do. I took birth for this work only. What other job do I have? All this is going on in your head. But you just say yes. You don't know to say no. So this kind of talk is nothing but passive communication. On this note, we will take a break for 5 minutes, right? We'll take a break for 5 minutes. We'll get back in 5 minutes. So I will see you. It's 5 o'clock. I will see you at 5:05.
Hi, good evening. Can we restart?
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so I think Basumudi branch few has to come back from the break. I request all the users, if possible, please switch on your video. So that yeah, so that we'll know that who we are addressing to. Okay, so let us start again. So I'll introduce myself. Myself, C.A. Ganesh Shetty. I'm one of the founder of this institution, basically. So why I came in between to interfere throughout like you are all engaged. I could see there are a lot of interaction is happening, and there are a lot of interest from all the users, all the students. So I am just interfering you guys just to talk to you and give some inputs from my end. So why we are conducting this particular event, and what are the importance, and why you should be attending this particular session. So you all are being trained. Majority, I believe, majority of the students who are looking at this particular session are our students, and maybe some other than students also joined today. So Institute of Practical Accounting and Taxation, in short, InPAT Pro, is conducting a lot of practical oriented training session on various aspects of accounting and taxation. So what you are looking at is our website main page. Here, if you go to our education tab, you will be able to see course details also. On the first page, you can see InPAT Pro is now number 3rd in top accounting and taxation institute in India. This is our achievement. So basically, we have been recognized as India's 3rd most practical oriented training institution. In Karnataka, we are the leading training institution. Our all students are aware of this. Okay, if anyone other than our students, for them, for their information, I'm just highlighting these points. So why you need to attend the practical training programs like GST, income tax, that you already know it, and that's why you are here today. So I just wanted to give an idea why you should also attend these kind of training sessions, wherein we are focusing on presentation skills and we are focusing on interpersonal skills. This is very, very, very important. And if I give it in percentage wise, though you are 100% out of 100% knowledge, 50% is required, is a technical knowledge, but rest 50% will be considered your presentation and interpersonal skill only. Got it? So that's very, very, very important. So unless otherwise you are not in a not presenting yourself in a good manner, you will not be hired. That's where we are trying to conduct lot many these kind of sessions, so that you will get an idea. There are some experts, they will be giving you some hints, and you should be implementing it every time, or maybe any points if you feel that this is implementable, then you should be implementing it. Okay, so I hope everyone is like enjoying this session. And also technically, to getting prepared technically also equally important. Okay, for example, when you are learning our practical courses like GST, so you would have seen our simulation software, you would have used our simulation software. So for example, this simulation software of GST, so we are giving all the students live experience how exactly the simulations the GST website looks like. For example, if you can see in my screen, GST access demo website, visit official website. This is official website. This is a government website wherein to log in here, you need to have a login credential which is given by central government, state government or central government, as the case may be. But so that to get an access to a GST website, you will take at least 3 years, 4 years time in any organization to work as an accountant, then only you will be able to access. But wherein as a student, if you join us, then you will be able to see this demo website from the when the course starts, or whenever this particular chapter starts, right? You will be able to access our login credentials, and you will be able to log into the website, so that you will get a realistic understanding of how exactly things works. This is practical exposure. This itself is, many students are not getting it, so we are trying our best to do whatever possible from our end. So you guys are experiencing this being our student, or if anyone are not student, I think you can try getting more information about these courses with our counselors. And this is also important. This is also like, if I take 100% students, only 10% students will be aware of this. 90% students are not aware of this. Is one of the hurdles they are facing when they're looking for a job. So secondly is what we are doing it today. So that is also equally important. You should be well versed. For example, why they are taking this session, why we are conducting this session, I will give with a real example. For example, you are filing the GST return for your company. Somehow you manage to get a job and you are working for a company, and you yourself is filing the GST return. So you have filed the return. Suddenly some vendor will call you, because today, do you know today is the GST due date? Which due date? Can anyone answer this? Can anyone answer what is the due date today? GSTR 1 due date today. Okay. So today you are filing your GSTR 1 return. Okay. Immediately after 1 or 2 days, your vendor will call you. Sir, this GST input I'm not getting. This is not this. It's not only one vendor. You might be getting call from so many vendors. So do you think you must be having a communication skill here? presentation skill, interpersonal skill is mandatory here. At least here it's very important, because you should be rightly presenting the scenario. Sir, this was your bill and this is the case. That's why we have not filed this month, or you have not paid, or something. Lot many reasons will be there. You should be able to present the reason or interact with particular vendor. What is the reason why we have not filed, why we have filed, and why it is delayed, why it's not showing. There are a lot of communication going to happen. So company which is achieving a 1 crore turnover will generally have an accountant, full-time accountant, right? So if a company is achieving a 20 lakhs, less than 20 lakhs turnover, will not have any accountant. Generally, I'm talking, and more than 50 lakhs might be having an accountant. In that case, to achieve that 1 crore or 50 lakhs to 1 crore or above that, that company will be having hundreds of transactions, maybe 200 transactions, 300 transactions. There will be so many transactions, right? For each and every transaction, there will be a separate vendor, or maybe for at least 10 to 20 transactions, there will be a separate vendor. Each and every vendor, if they start talking to you, how many discussion might happen? How many variety of discussion might happen? This is all about the on the job. Before getting into the job, when you are facing an interview itself, you need a good presentation and interpersonal skill. So in front of employer, you cannot be like, that will not work. Definitely not work. You should be able to clearly pitch about your profile. Hi, this is Ganesh, and my qualification is this, and I have done my graduation from this institution, and I have done my practical DPAT course from this institution, wherein I have learned these many things. I have learned realistic GST return filing through their simulation software. This is what you have to be presenting in the interview. Then only they will be considering you, right? These kind of interpersonal skill also very important. Presentation skill also very important. It's not that you have learned GST return filing through simulation software. You should be also able to present whatever you have learned, right? In many of my experience, we do hire a lot of candidates as a entrepreneur, or as an employer. I'm talking now. I could see many people are not presenting their skills in CV itself. They're very lazy. So don't show that laziness when you're looking for a job. Present your CV very clearly. It shouldn't be more than 2 pages at any cost. So cut down whatever you learned and summarize in 1 page. And 1 page will be about your profile, everything. And at least 1 page you can focus on your experience, learning, exposure, everything. And presenting that CV is just a piece of paper that you are going to give it to the employer like this. And then you must be presenting yourself orally also. You should be ready for that. So I told you, right, the same way, or maybe better than that, if you find it any other way, but to present it very, very properly, so that your selection, the chances of selection will be on the higher side. Okay, so that's all about from my side. Okay, so now again, over to Ishita, so you can continue. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this training session. Thank you.
Could you please make me the host?
Yeah, 1 second. Yes, it's done.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I'm audible. Okay. So the first thing, we spoke about passive communication. A person who does not know how to tell no, right? They'll give you a job and they'll keep making you repeatedly do the job, because they know you're not going to tell no to the job. Now, who's going to win? Obviously, the other person is going to win. And who's going to lose? You will be losing. Why? Because you're not happy about it. It's not a win-win situation. It's a win-win for the other person, not for you. So passive communication is something we have to learn. If you are a person who is who is in the category of the passive communication, you have to learn and develop the art that, okay, I think I don't know how to tell no. I get intimidated very fast. I feel complex. The superior people who are so superior to me can make me feel complex, and I cannot afford to do that, because you will know that I'm giving this kind of quality of service to this institute. In spite of that, if you feel that you're not good enough, they make you feel that way. They put a lot of work on you. You do it efficiently and give it back to them, and they give you more and more job, and you know that there are 10 more things you need to handle. At one point of time, you also need to know how to say no, that they don't take disadvantage of you. So passive communication is a kind of communication you should avoid. Because a person will always be in the situation that I am not okay, but you will definitely be okay if you get to be with me. So they will take disadvantage of you in an organization if you're going to be a passive communicator. The second one is aggressive communication. Even this is really, really, really bad. Okay, when an individual resort to using aggressive style of communication, they tend to dominate, criticize, attack, blame, and interrupt frequently. You'll always see this one person, when you're talking also they'll interrupt. No, it is not like that. No, you're wrong. No, that doesn't work that way. No, I don't think you have it in you. Aggressive communication, very little consideration for others, but outspoken personality, keep speaking out, continuously going on speaking, but they will not have any kind of consideration towards what you are trying to say. So that kind of communication, if you have, where you are underestimating the other person, where you always think that the other person is not good enough, where you openly tell that other person, trying to put them down, that kind of communication has to be avoided in any kind of organizations, in any kind of interview, in any kind of place you go where you represent yourself. With your siblings, mother, father, yes, you can have your entire personality the way you want. That's no, because they are not going to judge you. But outside, there is a person who can get impacted because of your way of aggressive communication, and that you need to cut down. Okay, they exhibit low frustration tolerance, poor listening skills, poor impulse control. See, aggressive communicator is not always a person who's attack. Okay, who's always in attack mode. They're also the kind of people who have poor listening skills. Even before you complete your sentence, they cut you off in the middle. Now, these kind of people are aggressive. They don't have patience. They lack patience. The voice tends to be threatening, loud, demanding, and overbearing. Okay. So the more they talk to you, generally it's the boss's tone when he's angry, he's got this aggressive way of communicating. They will get very angry on you and they'll say, I don't know, why did I hire you? You're not even good at this job. Now, one small mistake happened, they're going to talk to you like that. Maybe they have the authority to talk to you like that because you would have done that kind of blunder. But imagine a person of your own, if you are working in an organization with the same peer, with the same kind of people, and you have that aggressive communication whole time trying to eat them up. You should avoid that, because the minute they get to know about it, they're going to cut you off. People will start obviously having bad notion about you. They will go against you, and at one point of time you're going to lose. No matter how good you are at your work, because of your aggressive communication skill, you're going to lose that job. Okay, so they they operate by this kind of profession. See the last line, what they're saying, they operate out of a life position which suggests that I am okay, you are not okay. I am okay, but you are not okay. So anybody having that kind of attitude right now, if anybody feels that, okay, I think sometimes I feel I am only right, the other person is always wrong, I am only the queen of this world, I'm the king of this world, then you might be an aggressive communicator. Maybe you're too strong on your opinion when it comes to the other person. So that kind of communication has to be avoided in a work environment. The most dangerous style of communication is the next one, that is the passive aggressive communication. The passive aggressive style of communication is perhaps the most dangerous style of communication. When the individual resort to being passive aggressive style of high communication, they tend to avoid confrontation altogether and mutter among themselves. Now, what is this muttering? So imagine your boss comes to you. Okay, your boss comes to you, you have to talk your boss. Just imagine your colleague only comes to you. Okay, he's coming or she's coming, and they're talking to you, and they said, listen, I'm sure you'll be able to do this file, and you have it in you, you go ahead. In front of that colleague, you say, yeah, okay, I will do it, I'll do it. Okay, you take the file because you're passive, you're afraid, you don't want to say no and all of that, so you're very passive. The minute that person goes off from your eyes, you become aggressive. Who the hell that person he thinks he is? He's coming and dumping files. He's my colleague. How can he give this work to me? He doesn't have an authority. I don't know why I'm here. You're frustrated. You're muttering among yourself. You're sarcastic all the time. That you're so frustrated, and that is nothing but passive aggressive, and that is very, very dangerous, because you're killing yourself, okay, by taking a lot of work, and you're also sitting and cursing it. So that kind of lifestyle should be avoided. That kind of communication has to be avoided. If you cannot do a job, simply say, I will do it a little bit later. I have this on my plate. I will get back to you, sir. I'll get back to you, ma'am. Right now, I've engaged myself into this. I'm not very sure of how much time this thing is going to take. Until and only if I complete this, I would like to take up another task. So I will get back to you if this task is not taken over by anybody else once I'm done with my job. This is nothing but assertive communication. But you shouldn't be passive aggressive is the most dangerous one. Being passive in front of the other, the minute the other person goes, you start talking on their back. You start yelling, you start screaming, you curse your life. People around you feel negative. That kind of a communication has to be avoided. Those kind of people are the people who are always sarcastic. They are always in sarcasm mode on. They will pass a comment. They feel like passing a comment. They are always in denial, right? This kind of communication has to be avoided. So what kind of personality they have? I am also not okay. You are also not okay. Now this is very dangerous. In other two places like aggressive or that was passive, it was at least one person was okay and the other person was not. In this, what happens in passive aggressive? I am also not okay. You're also not okay. It means I am also hopeless. You are also hopeless. Then you're going to have a hopeless lifestyle around your work, which you cannot afford. Okay. We are not donkeys going to work. We are there to prove ourselves, to prove our personality, to get a good job, to get a good pay, for which a personality is very, very important and you have to inbuild. So if you are a kind of person who is very, very quiet, but behind their back you talk a lot, it's going to cost you a lot as well, because you never know, some other colleague might overhear you talking all this and they will use it against you to get back at you. So these kind of communication styles have to be avoided. What should we do, ma'am? We have to do assertive communication. You have to adopt this lifestyle of assertive communication. The best communication style to operate out is of assertive communication style. When the individual resorts to this style of communication, they express their needs, wants, feelings clearly, appropriately, and respectfully. These kind of things. Now, a person who's very clear with the thoughts, they don't get complex, they are not feeling superior also. Both the things are wrong. You having complexity, you having superiority in your head. Both the things are wrong. Try to balance it out. Nobody should try to make you do any kind of work which you think you don't want to do. But if there is an opportunity where you can prove yourself, nobody should be able to steal that work out of you also. You get it? You think that, okay, I don't deserve to do this kind of work. You should be able to tell no. You think that is a challenging work and I think I can do it. You should also have that kind of audacity to go out there, tell that person, listen, I think I can do this. Please hand this over to me. When you balance the most passive side and the aggressive side, in middle, you become an assertive communicator, and that will take you really far in your personal life, in your professional life. Okay. Even if in an interview, when they're asking a question, you can't just be, I don't know. No, ma'am, I think I'm unaware about it, but I would love to have a conversation on this. I would love to educate myself with something like this. And I will make sure that I learn on this concept. The next time you ask me, you will have an answer to this for sure. Instead of telling, no, I didn't learn, I didn't know, I was unaware about it. Rather, very clearly tell that person that, yes, I think I don't have much idea on this, so I'm not able to tell you much about this. I don't have much idea about this, so I'm not very confident about answering this. But if you give me a chance, I'm willing to learn and I'm actually interested to get done with this, and I will get back to you on this as well. The next time you see me, you will definitely know that I would have improved my subject knowledge on this. Just look at the way you're talking. No, the other person feels that, yeah, I pointed out that he's bad. He took it in the right spirit. She took it in the right spirit. She looked up to that person. She told them that, no, I'm going to get back to you. I will learn it really well. And next time you talk to me, you will see that my knowledge has increased in this area. That will fetch you a job also. Because in the interview, they're not seeing your knowledge basis. They are seeing how much a candidate is interested to study, interested to learn. How can you crack an interview even without having knowledge also? You can, if you are having a convincing skill, if you're interpersonal skill, you have an interpersonal skill where you can tell the other person that, sir, ma'am, I'm sorry if you think that I'm not knowledgeable enough for your job, but I'm here to learn, I am here to grow, and you will see me grow if you give me a chance. Instead of telling abrupt no by getting scared, passive, or telling no, I don't know, aggressive, come in middle, na? try to talk in a very assertive way that, yes, I understand that I have this kind of this knowledge, this side of my knowledge might be a little bit weak, whereas I have a lot of strength, but I don't mind working on my weakness, sir. I can still work on my weakness and I will get back to you and you will see me grow. That is something I can assert in you. That is the assertive communication you should have, be it for an interview, be it for a job, be it at your work life, be it in your personal life, anything and everything. They tend to listen well. They do not interrupt the speaker. They communicate respect for others while communicating. Talking to a person also, hey, you understand this is aggressive person. That becomes passive. So you are an amazing person I have met. That is assertive. You have to balance out both. These individuals typically feel competent and in control and connected to others. So you have a balanced personality. Basically, consistency is the approach. Okay, they stand up for their rights and they do not allow others to manipulate them or abuse. There'll be a person, when you enter an organization, you will always see, don't talk to this person, don't talk to that person, this person is bad, that person is good. You'll always have this one person telling you all this. And what happens? You step into that person's shoes and you start looking at those people in those ways. So you don't approach those people. After a year and a half, when you're working in the same organization, you start talking to them, right? And then you realize, my God, this person is not at all the way I was told. This person is completely different. Had I met this person 1.5 years ago, I would have learned so much out of this person, right? So you have to understand that you cannot, somebody telling something, let them tell. You give your benefit of doubt to that person and don't judge them too quickly. Yes, but you should not be dumb. You should be alert. If somebody is coming and telling you this person is very, very aggressive, beware. You cannot be like, no, I will talk to you very nicely. I will go and I will have a coffee also. I will speak properly. I'm going to give a benefit of doubt. No. Keep that in mind. Keep yourself aware in the back of your head that, yes, I've heard this person is aggressive. So I'll be very calm. I will be aware of the fact of the words I'm using in front of that person. And then try speaking a conversation. You never know. Either they will make the impression or they'll break it. You give a benefit of doubt to that person. And that kind of communication will take you far in life. So what kind of personalities are that? They are the kind of positive personality who have assertive communication. No, I am also okay. You are also okay. They are very calm. They have a very good eye contact. They have relaxed body posture. So these are the assertive communication skills. The next thing you need to remember is gender sensitivity. When you are in your workplace, wherever you go, if you're now you are a HR, for example, you are an HR, there is always going to be a little bit of difference when if you are a woman, if a woman is taking an interview and the woman is an interviewee, there is always going to be a different set of skills, a different set of questions that can come. If it is a boy or a gentleman, obviously it's going to be a different set of questions that might be shoot up to them. There might be questions like, are you willing to travel? Then these kind of questions will be answered for both. Though both of them will get this kind of question. But asking extreme questions without knowing. See, there is one problem in India also. I see a lot of youngsters, they don't understand the difference between gender equality and gender sensitivity. Gender equality is nothing but I'm as equal as you are. If I deserve an opportunity, you too do. That does not mean that if the lady is walking, you shut the door on their face, right? You get it? That is an etiquette which I'm trying to say. Then there are people, you do this to your best friends, I'm sure. You imagine your best friend is of the other gender. For example, a boy and a girl, they are good friends, they're best friends. They're going to eat some food outside. You have opened the restaurant. The boy opens the restaurant door and then he enters and leaves the door. It slams on the girl's face. And then she opens the door and she's, why did you do this? What are you going to say? Hey, you only know feminists. You wanted gender equality. You pull your door for yourself. How do you expect me to pull it for you? No, this is called sensitivity. And this kind of sensitivity you have for both the genders, not just a woman. If there's a man also and you've opened the door, you're not going to slam the door on the man's face, right? And tell, no, you are also a boy, you also open your door. No, if you open the door, it's for both. You need to know that there's something called sensitivity. The kind of words you use, oh God, that is so important. The words you use, no? It defines a lot about your personality. And if you master this art of using the words in the right place, again, you will go far in life. See here, sexism exists, not only in men, but also in women because of centuries of conditioning. We have to accept that fact. First of all, you can't go down to the road or hold banners until, oh, equality, gender. It is changing. It will take time. By the time 100 years pass by, it will be fine. But now you are here, right? So first of all, accept the fact that this has happened because of the centuries of conditioning. Gender sensitivity refers to the act of being aware of the ways people think about the gender, so as to avoid outdated and biased views about the roles of women and men. Okay. So every time you would have, if you've noticed from the time I've started this conversation at 5, I think we started at 4 o'clock. From the time I've started the conversation, I have given you, every time I tell you an example, I will tell. So if you go to an interview, if sir asks you, or if that lady asks you, you will always hear me listening. You will always hear me telling, if she asks you this question or if he asks you this question. Every word I use so far, if you have listened to every word which I've used till now in the entire presentation, you will never see me telling he, because the generation is changing. Even a nursery, from nursery now, if you I'm not sure you would not know about this, but right now, even in 4th standard books, you will see that he, bar, she, that's hyphen, he, hyphen, she is cooking in the kitchen. The gender sensitivity is now inserted even in the kids because the times are changing and we also have to update with that. So when you're talking, you have to use the right words. See, for instance, see the last line, what have I written there? You have to use a title such as chairperson rather than chairman. Why is it a chairman? It could be a chairperson. Now, just because it is coming out of a woman, I'm not opening the agenda of feminism, okay? Please spare me of that. I'm just a professional having a professional conversation with you. Okay, I'm not here a feminist and asking you for rights and all. I don't want. Okay, so when you use words, you use the right words. When you use chairperson, you use chairman. You can always substitute that word with chairperson. Humankind instead of mankind. These kind of words will take you far in life because it just shows you that you respect both the genders. If there's a person who happens to be a lady and he's an HR, they are going to judge you in the interview because they will listen to what are you saying. No, I went to the boss and he said, what if your boss says this to you? Question. I would tell him that why it is always him only? Why can't it be a her? They are going to judge you. They will understand that, okay, this person is not gender sensitive. That person doesn't understand that it could be a he or a she. In his head, a boss can only be a he, right? And a homemaker can only be a she. So you have to break that barrier. You have to break that norm which is in your head by replacing the right words, because that will add on a lot to your personality. People will be more comfortable talking to you. You will get more opportunities in life and you will attract more and more good things in life, and you use the right words, because this is very, very important. Coming down to presentation skills, almost towards the end of the seminar, almost towards the end, not going so fast. Don't worry, I'm going to trouble you. Presentation skills, very, very important. Now there are two things. Okay, in presentation, I can touch the aspects of how you need to look, how you need to look in an interview, how you need to walk, how you need to talk. All these things I have already taken up in the last. I don't know if you were there or not, but we had already a previous session where we have taught that. Okay, so basically, more or less, presentation is nothing but, if for men, formal clothes, polished shoes. Make sure you're having a good neat beard. You cannot keep this long beard, go for an interview, etc. I have already touched on all those insights. Your hair should be neat. Okay, for women, extravaganza makeup, no. Okay, red lipsticks, no. You're going to a workplace, not in a wedding. Neat dressing, neat way of looking. And every time you go to wherever you are going, you want to look neat. Your hair flying here and there, then tie it up neatly. If they are staying in the neat way, then let it be open. If you're not able to handle them, then don't. Wearing sari first time only and going in an interview, but don't know how to handle it, you're going to spoil your entire interview, right? So be comfortable in whatever you wear. Apart from that, I want to focus on the presentation which you are asked to make. Sometimes when you're in a job, when you're even going, if you're in HR or if you're in accounting, you will be asked to make few presentations here and there to represent your organization wherever you go. Now, it could be a mid-size firm, it could be a small firm, it could be a big firm. Presentation will be there. The types of presentation might change. If it is a small firm, you will be doing a presentation in paper, you're talking to your boss, you're going to present that, sir, I've done these files, we have to do this is our goal. You will do just a paper presentation and you will show it to them. You're in a mid-sized firm where there are 10 people who are waiting to know what is the plan. You'll be preparing a PPT. You're in a big four, a high level place where people, not high level, a big scale firm, basically a big scale firm, where there are lots and lots of people who are going to learn and acquire a lot out of your PPT. Then your style of putting the slides should change. What you need to put should change. Now it is for you to decide what to use where. Where you get employed, your presentation will change depending on that. Okay. There is no hard and fast rule that this needs to be like this only. Imagine a 80-year-old client coming to you and sitting and asking you a question. Sir, how to pass this accounting entry? I don't understand what entry you have passed. Are you going to open a PPT presentation and show it to him? Sir, take F5 button, you click and then go right. You will understand how we need to pass a double entry system. That person is going to take your laptop and throw it on your face. That 80-year-old person doesn't need to see the PPT. He is just asking you a simple question. You don't have to make fancy presentation for that. You can even present by your bare mouth. Very nicely, you can tell, yes, sir, I understand that you have a doubt on this. I would like to put a light on this. Okay, so this is double entry system. These are how the accounting rules will work. And this is the reason this accounting entry got debited. And this is the reason this got credited. You're not going to make fancy PPTs for them. But if you're in executive level organization, they're calling you. You're in a very big organization. They're calling you. There are top level executives. They're asking you, please tell us, please guide us how we need to do this. Are you going to be like, it is a double entry system. We have to pass an accounting entry. Then go to sleep. That's all. They are going to again throw you out of that guy threw laptop on you. This person will throw you only from the organization. Okay. There you need to know that you have to prepare good PPTs. Okay. Now, but be it preparing PPT or be it or you're telling it via your mouth or you're talking and you're conveying, you're communicating literally via yourself. The presentation in both the ways will remain the same, whether you put it in PPT or when you say. So how does it start? To design a proper presentation, first you should understand who your audience is, right? If it's a 5-year-old, are you going to make a PPT? No. If it's a 80-year-old, you're going to make a PPT? No. If it is in the 35 to 50, PPT will help? Yes. 20 to 35, you only have to do Instagram reels and explain them because they don't understand anything. Okay, it basically differs from one person to another. You have to understand who your audience is. Structuring your content, very important. You cannot write pages and paragraphs continuously until now you read. Many presentation I have made, you read. No, you have to structure your content right. Delivery should be on point and you should make sure there is a good design. Putting rainbow lights, flashlights from everywhere in your PPT, no, not acceptable. People will make fun of you. People will think that this person has got Ranveer Singh inside his soul. Okay. Understanding your audience, very important. Find out the age group. How much do they know already? How much do they need to know? How much do they want to know? Now, there are things you don't want to know, but sadly, you will have to know because there are other people who want to know about it. So I'll have to include those things. Some people are least interested. Some people are very interested. You'll always find this kind of variety in the audience. So you have to understand that where are they in the organization? How does the message and the material relate to that audience? Structuring your content, very, very important. First thing, introduction. Second, body. Third, conclusion. You have to understand that whenever you're structuring your content, it is so important. Even if you're talking, now you're doing a presentation without using PPTs. Now I'm talking to you. I am going to start with introduction. I started with saying that I'm going to do interpersonal skills. I went to the communication part. I went to the listening part. I taught to the rapport building. I've taught you everything. And I'm also going to conclude it. Okay. So this is via PPT, which I showed to you. And even when I'm talking to somebody, I am not going to beat around the bush. If you want to make an impression on a person, you cannot beat around the bush. You're going to obviously start with the introduction. Hi, I'm this. I'm here to say these things about you. And always when you're introducing something, you also make sure that you tell your audience that today you will be benefiting yourself out of these things. Then they will be interested in listening to what you're saying. Nobody is going to trade their time for free. Okay, everybody is here for a reason. Body. When you're structuring the body of your content, make sure you add a few things which I'll be telling to you. And then you finally conclude. Now, what are you going to put in your introduction part? You're going to put some quotes. See, the best way to start something is start with a quote. Basically, start with a good sentence, which is a quote, which is given by somebody. So what happens is there is an icebreaker. Okay. So when you start with a quote, there's always an icebreaker between you and your audience, whoever it is. Second thing is question. when you're introducing. Many speakers begin their presentation with questions. This helps in breaking the ice and engaging with the audience. For example, I am called for speaking someplace. This is a lecture, more of a soft skill training program. Okay, this is not where I'm giving presentation about something. So I'm doing a presentation. I'm asked to speak about some topic. What am I going to do? First question I'm like, how many of you like driving the car? So what are people going to do? They'll start raising their hand. So what is happening? You are attracting the attention of people. You are targeting the set of audience. They will be inclined. Okay, maybe I'm not interested in car, maybe, but maybe he'll ask another question. I'll be interested in that. So you're grabbing the attention of the audience when you are doing your presentation. In accounts job, also presentation, very, very important. In HR, also presentation, very, very important. If you're asked to talk somewhere, you want to express your work, you need to know how to present it right. Okay, so asking question will always help the other person indulge in a conversation. Demonstration. Your audience will not expect any kind of demonstrations, but if you are enthusiastic, you want your audience to be more enthusiastic, you are going to demonstrate. When I told you that you have to figure out who you are you a passive communicator? Are you an aggressive communicator? Are you passive aggressive or are you assertive? If you are three of these things, which you're not assertive, but you're passive or very aggressive or passive aggressive, what do you need to do? You are going to go back home today. You're going to think, okay, this is where I belong. I want to reach over here, right? You will think that when you will start working on it. So demonstration plays a very, very, very important role. Next is short stories. Short stories. For example, I'm talking about active listening. I will not want to, this is a session where I'm teaching you how to talk and how you work, okay? But now you're talking about active listening. For example, I will start with a story, small story over there, that a husband and wife had a fight, right? You start with that. So what happens? First things first, people who are single will relate to their parents. People who are in relationship will relate to their relationship partners. The people who are married will relate to their husband and wife. What is happening with this short story? Everybody's imagination started working. You attracted the attention of your audience. Especially if now presentation in work environment, you can't do all this. So what will you do? Short story, quote an example of your own employee who has done something in the last week and you want to put it in your presentation. Everybody will look at that person. They will appreciate. Everybody will be involved because that is one common person in the room they know. So share a short story of that person and you will have everybody in the audience looking at you. That person also feels appreciated. People are also happy that, okay, somebody is getting recognized, very nice, and they are interested in the conversation. That's how you capture your audience. Okay. Humor, very, very important, right? So when I was talking about body posture, I was imitating you. I was trying to pull your legs. I was saying that somebody is sleeping, somebody is dozed off, somebody is like, why am I here? These kind of humors are small humors which you need to add here and there. Generally, in my other sessions, when I'm teaching very technical topic, theoretical topic, students feel like crying. That is where I use maximum humor. But in the soft skill training program, I choose to minimize my humor level because I feel that we are all here to learn for a reason. Statement. One sentence statement which could summarize your speech serves as a theme statement. So whenever I'm going to conclude, you already know that today I've learned few aspects of interpersonal communications. I've learned how to do the presentation. I'm learning of how to even present myself, how to talk. When I'm talking, I should have an introduction. There should be a body. There should be a conclusion. I shouldn't be beating around the bush, etc. Relevance to listener. Imagine you people are here for soft skill training and I start talking about politics. Shashi Tharoor is talking this speech in this parliament and this happened. Will you want to sit in my class? No. The first thing you'll go and tell Ganesh sir, we will pay you double money, don't call her. We are not here to hear her nonsense. We don't want only because she talks something that is so irrelevant. You told us she will teach soft skill. God knows she started talking about Shashi Tharoor. She's talking about cooking recipe. She's crying about the fights she's having with her husband. We don't want to hear all this because it is not relevant to the listener. So why, right? Make sure it is relevant to the listener. Whenever you're talking, you're addressing your boss, make sure you don't talk nonsense. Don't go and tell journal entry is passed because no, he knows. He's your boss. He knows it. He knows journal entries. He knows ledger account. He knows trial balance. He knows P&L and he knows balance sheet. Don't explain them the basics. Talk to the point. That will give the relevance as a listener. They will give more importance to you. preview of main points. You can also start having a quick glance of main points that you will be covering during the presentation. For example, your boss asked you, come, we'll have to finalize the file today. Show me the amount of GST returns you have filed today. I want to know. Are you going to be like, today morning I got up at 8 o'clock, then I came to office at 9 o'clock, then I went to the washroom, then I had idli, dosa, sambar, then I said, no, nobody wants to know. Main points, I've dealt with 4 clients. These are the 4 clients. This client has not given me this information because of which the file is pending. Please let me know. Your 4 main points are covered. That person is going to respect you for life because you're not beating around the bush. Body, very important. Once you've established this rapport, you introduce your main idea to your audience, you will need to launch into the talking of your sub ideas. Okay, any kind of idea. For example, your boss has called you that, come, we will talk about something. So you will start introducing, you will tell that, today we are going to learn about the GST. There are so many files that are pending, sir. Things are not going the way they should go. This is where you crack the conversation. Then they'll, okay, what have you done? What about your files? He'll ask you. You're blaming other people. What about your files? That is when you start telling, sir, I have made these Excel sheets where this much is pending. I have entire worksheet which I've made. Everything is ready. Acknowledgement number is ready. You can ask me anything and everything about any file and I will tell you that this much is done. Your ideas and your sub idea. Now, there will be one idea that you want to report on time, but your sub idea is making that Excel sheet, time sheet, presentation, etc. So what will happen? You have sub ideas inside, for which you will be okay to talk and people would want to listen to you also because you're not just beating around your bush. Some kind of research. For example, there is a few, suddenly, if you're into tax, if you're into accounts also, Ind AS suddenly new provision has been added in Ind AS. You make a research on that. Future may what and all can happen. Your boss will appreciate that. Anybody is going to appreciate that kind of research, that, oh my God, this person is even thinking of future and getting back to me. I want this kind of employee in my organization. They'll pay you anything to have you. Okay. You have to do conclusion. Your audience needs to go with the feeling inspired and ready to act. See, if you're having a conversation, when I'm telling you, you go back home, find out what kind of communicator you are, go back, ask yourself, become an assertive communicator. You will be able to achieve everything you want. Okay, you will be able to achieve everything you want. You have to understand that this is not just conclusion. I am also giving you a plan of action. We have learned the art of listening, rapport building, talking, presenting, interpersonal skills, etc. so far. But there is no point of the whole thing if you are not inspired enough to go back home and think, okay, am I the right person I might be the right person for this job, but do I have a scope to improve? Yes. What are the things I need to improve? Oh, I need to be an excellent communicator. At least not in front of 1,000 people, at least 5 people should understand what I'm trying to tell. And if I can tell that much also is good after this workshop, right? And finally, you have to call for action. You gave your audience some information that they probably, they think that, okay, it might help. So what? What should they do with this information? I've been telling you, do this, do that, but what will you do? So I'm also telling you the plan of action, right? Start being an active listener. Start thinking, because you will lose that opportunity if you don't listen to what that other person is saying and you interrupt them in middle. What's going to happen? That person would have given you that information which you could exploit actually. Let me tell you, you could actually exploit that into an opportunity by listening to the whole thing. That is why you have to keep quiet and listen to when somebody is talking. Try to make sure that you get a lot out of that person. You try and find out a lot out of that person. Encourage them. What will they think? Oh, this person is very interested in conversation, and they'll start telling you so many things which you would not even know. But if you cut them in middle, you cut short that conversation, you have lost an adequate amount of information which you could have even converted into money. That information, if you would have had without cutting, that information you could use into your own professional life and make money out of it also. And these kind of opportunities are there everywhere. It's how you want to open your ears, listen, understand, develop that interpersonal skills, have the kind of communication skills which you want, for which you have to accept that, okay, I belong here, I need to get here, and I'm going to work for it. I'm going to prepare for the interview. I need to look, my presentation should be like this, technical aspect, I should be like this, my CV should look like this, my resume should look like this, and whatever I'm telling, my technical knowledge should match my facial expression, because what you talk is not matching with your face. The interviewer sitting there is not dumb, bro. They are there for because they're good at it. So if you're going to lie, if you're going to fake, they're going to catch hold of you. And someday you will be an HR, you will be an accountant, you will be asked to interview someone. And these interpersonal skills which you have excelled is only going to come to your rescue to understand that person. Interpersonal skills, communication skills, presentation skills are so important in the world and the era right now. The competition is so much right now that you have to get started at any point of time. Even little, if the session has helped you even little, just go back home, try. Talk to the mirror, try talking to yourself and try to develop the personality, because that personality will take you a long way ahead in your life. Obviously it's going to take you long ahead. You might be really good at technicality, but if your personality is not strong enough, and then somebody else will use that work and they will show. You need to know when to tell no, you need to know when to tell yes, else you might just be a donkey who's working hard. There'll be some other chap who is really smart in communication, he is very good at presenting, etc., will take all your work away and go and present it. That is the reason you should develop these kind of skills in your life. With that note, I had an excellent session with you. I hope I could give you some tips that could help you in your life, be it personal, be it professional, and I hope I was of some help to you. On that note, I want to end the session. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
ma'am.
We not only learn things from it, but also enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ishita Raichura. So it was such a wonderful session. I think students will make use of it. So that's why we are conducting this kind of training sessions. So one point I wanted to highlight right now is that what if you are not good at language? Okay, so that's point maybe somewhere in the middle or somewhere at the end might be thinking, so how to improve a language? There is no shortcut, guys. Please dedicate yourself and please spend time for a years together, and your language will also improve. And then whatever this resource person told you today can be implemented in a better way. Okay. So with this note, I am going to wind up this session. Thank you so much, CA Ishita Raichura, for taking your time out from the busy schedule and sharing your thoughts with our student. And thanks a lot, all the students and anyone other than students also who have attended this training program, and all the branch from InPAT Pro from various locations who have joined us. Thank you so much, everyone. We are winding up this session. Thank you.
Hello. Sir. Hello. Aita.
Yeah. Any questions?
Sir, ಈ recording ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ sir?
Yes. Yeah. We are going to share. If you are our student, directly you are going to get in the your student group. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Thank
you're InPAT Pro student, right?
Faculty, sir. Lakshman here, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we are going to share the session recording. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, bye, sir.